Okay, and need to close my door just in case noise comes in later. Although Dad is laying down right now, so not any yet today. Okay. Alright. Then um what are we doing today? We're gonna continue what we did yesterday. Let me open up the docs. The doc. Okay. Why does it look so bright? Guess it's because it's pretty bright, I guess. Okay. So here, let's switch to desktop. Okay. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel, to the stream. Welcome back to the stream. I don't know. I sit in the chair and now I want to fall asleep. I did get me some coffee though. Got some coffee and I took a taurine and it should be ready to go, I think. Okay, so this is what we got here so far. Vacation princesses are trapped in Fairy God College in the library to run fairy tale scenarios to get some of them to marry Max's henchmen, specifically trapped in enchanted books. The Count and Princess Karin want to find out what happened to the vacation princesses as they're not in princess prep. They go to infiltrate Fairy God College where Karin pretends to be a would-be fairy godmother, and the Count needs to turn into Bat and hide in her handbag as the windows are locked tight. Why don't we do it? I don't know, stylistic choice, I guess. Why don't we have the Count turn into a handbag? He's not actually turning it into a handbag. He's turning it into a bat, and uh, putting himself into a shape that looks like a handbag. I guess. I don't know if that would work, but it sounds funny. And as usual, I am sleepy. Why is this? Oh, okay. Just wondering why I was here. I'm gonna check my sound. Give me a sec. All right, everything's good. Whoa. Alrighty. Seems like I look more at my side screen more than I do my main screen, which is right here. Right there. Actually looking down, technically. Okay. I get to watch myself. It's long enough that I can turn and watch myself later, and I can see how I look down, and then I'll be looking at the side again. Okay. Um. Why should I be on? I don't know why. Probably still the sleep thing. Although I got more sleep last night than I have for a while now, and tonight I hope to get even more sleep. But in any case, um. Okay. So this here is Max's subplot that I gotta put in there. I haven't actually put that into the deal. In fact, I have to rearrange some of Violet's uh, outline items, whatever. Um, okay, let me pull up. I guess let me pull up ChatGPT because I was using that yesterday to help me. And let's put ChatGPT back on my notebooks bar so I can just get to it quickly. Hmm. Okay, let me scan some of this here. Okay. Mm, this is a great example of deception, quick thinking disguised as fairy godmother trainees. Karen the Cat and Hebert poses vacation fairy godmothers. That might still be funny, but I don't really, in this day and age, don't really want to do the whole dressing and drag thing. They even did that in Monkey Island too, and where Guybrush has to wear a dress. Uh, disguise. Both are way aside. Using bureaucracy and red tape. Classic Biohope style scam. Okay. Just identifying the problem where I was thinking Princess Karen pretending to be a vacation princess, but then again, they don't know where the princes are. This probably needs to be a job just for the Count and Karen. I want to give them something to do, something proactive, and part of the story. After Karen is rescued, but I suppose pretending to be a fairy godmother to get him work, the Count probably wouldn't do that, although he might get in another way. Hypnotize guard, VIP guest trick, bat sneak in, stowaway move, shattering negotiation. Unique twist, bat size problem. Well, I'm just thinking maybe flying through a window, which he does earlier, is too easy. Maybe there are windows, but they're shut tight. We require that he attempts to get in before Princess Karen does, because maybe the only thing he can think of is maybe the princess has a handbag. So he has to turn the back, get inside the bag before he can get inside the school. Okay. Karen would know. She's part of the plan. Actually, I don't know how to clue them in. I guess a logical place might be Fairy God College, but um, I have to give her a way to be able to sneak in. Okay, scenes from the count to spice up the scene. No, that's going to be too much detail in it anyways because of this first pass. Maybe that would happen inside the actual full game. Hmm. I need to come up with a way that causes Karin and the Count want to get into Princess Prep in the first place. Because they have no clue where the other vacation princesses are. Okay, let's see what comes up with. I'm seeing I'm yawning today. I can't help it. I'm gonna be falling asleep all over myself. I'm just gonna be snoozing, practically snoozing. Cruising for a cruising for a snoozing. Um, let us see for a moment. Uh, Reason to investigate Princess Prep before discovering that Fairy God College is the real location. What? Er, um, I made a mistake. Uh, they need a reason to want to infiltrate Fairy God College. This is the one thing the AI should kind of pick up on. When I said before Fairy God College, and then now I say Princess Prep, it should go, wait, don't you mean Fairy God College? Because that's what you said before. As they don't know where the princesses are. Presumably, they've already been told that they're missing since John um, has already had it out. I'm gonna turn off the webcam for a moment. Okay, so hmm, yeah, they need a way to get into. They need a reason to get into Fairy God College. Karen and the Count need a logical reason to suspect Fairy God College and attempt to infiltrate it. I could mention find a class or roster that includes Fairy God College staff members who should be teaching there. One suspicious entry could be Violet's name, hinting at connection between the two schools. Maybe. Maybe a former vacation princess or fairy godmother trainee who escaped or dropped out. This person mentioned hearing about a special program that the vacation princess are being sent to Fairy God College. That is a possibility, you know? Um, Now, John would have seen that if he had gone over there. If Well, maybe that's all they know. Maybe there's a note on the door saying Princess Prep is hereby closed. But we have an exciting new program for you at Fairy God College. That's actually not a bad idea. I mean, this sort of gives me the idea. Special program. See, so I am kind of taking the idea, person here about mentioning a special program that we're being sent. But instead of a special program, instead of hearing about it, they actually see the flyer, or whatever. And here, I'm gonna put that in my notes, I think. Um, we are going to. I'm gonna turn the webcam back on. Okay. Uh, note. Uh, the hint that there might be something in. Oh, and that's another thing. Ooh, yes. The hint that there might be something in Fairy God College could be uh, in a flyer nailed to the princess prep door stating uh, some weak apology about the school closing down, but if they wish, they can sign up for a new special program. In Fairy God College. Uh, I could say, well, I could say program. That's fine. That's what ChatGPT said. Um, Sign up for a new special program in Fairy God College, and I okay. So I have to think about that for a second. That's correct. That's what I want, but I have to think about it. So I just thought of a decent idea. I have a flyer nailed to the door of Princess Prep, apologizing. What would say? I'm gonna write up here. Uh, okay, hold on a sec. Uh, Turn this off just again for just a sec. I mean, I could almost leave it off. You almost don't need to see my face, really. I just figured that occasionally showing my face would make it a little bit more personable. Um, you see a faceless YouTube channel, you're not likely to be as interested when you see somebody's face, even if it's not that great a looking of face, it's just a face. Then you might be more apt to go, "Oh, this is a real person here." Anyways, I'm basically trying. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and admit it. I'm basically trying to get around this falling asleep thing by closing my eyes occasionally, and I'm trying to keep talking because I don't actually want to fall asleep. So I'm thinking what's going to happen is I do this a couple of times, and then um, when the when the taurine and the caffeine from the coffee starts kicking in, I'll be feeling good. Anyways, the important thing here is that I guess they're gonna let's put a space in here. I guess what's gonna happen is this note's gonna apologize and saying we're running a well, either there's a special new program for princesses in Fairy God College, or it could be a trick. It could be saying, "Come and join us and become a fairy godmother," and um, I don't know what it would say. I'm still kind of stuck right now. But anyways, more or less, it would say that there's a special new deal. You can go to Fairy God College uh, instead, learn to be a fairy godmother. I don't know. I have to think about it for a sec. Fire now to the door of Princess Prep, urging vacation princesses to go over to Fairy Fairy God College. Urging me to go over to Fairy God College. Um, then this could play into Princess Karin pretending uh, hmm, still thinking, I guess. Just remember, kids, you need your sleep, or else you're just gonna fall asleep and not be able to do anything and not be able to think because you didn't get enough sleep. Okay. Special program. Well, not another character, but a note on Princess Prep's door stating that they apologize for closing the princess program down. Uh, and then suggesting could go over to Fairy God College. Uh, to learn to become. This is okay. This is where I stop. Let's go ahead and send that. Okay. There's lots of good and natural reasons to suspect fairy without making them immediately aware of their full truth. Uh, should it have clues that hint at something suspicious, like strange phrasing, an odd signature, or signs of magical tampering? Well, okay, so there's a couple things. One is Hubert knows that they're training witches in Fairy God College. At this point, John would probably already know because it's essentially I'm inserting this into the story that it didn't have it before. But essentially, at this point, John would John would know that the note was there. He might not think of it. All right, there I am. There I am. Okay, so the deal here is, uh, I'm not sure what I want to go with because I'm not sure what I want to go with. If I say you can always decide later, time pacing. We might keep it open ended later. This could actually be a thing that's also part of the puzzle because so like in the full game, what's going to happen is you're going to go and you're going to uh, need to go check out Princess Prep, and John will tell you, will tell Karin and the Count what he found there, uh, or what he knows, and really all he knows is that she was held there. They had her itinerary there, and what else? Oh, and then that about the headmistress. Um, Also, I'm not sure if this would be a thing or not, but let's say you have this note on the door and you pick it up. Now, you're gonna be wandering around, uh, but you might decide to go inside. You almost kind of need to go inside. Uh, Get what all he does there. Um, let's think here for a sec. Let's keep it open ended for now, or return it to later. Hold on, let me think again. Yeah, yeah. Today I'm It's kind of weird too what happens. Sometimes I'll be up and it'll be like super late and I'll barely get any sleep, and then I'll wake up and I'm okay the next day. That doesn't mean I'm fully functional, but it means my mind's not going, I'm not falling asleep, and things are working like they should be. But if I missed some sleep instead of a lot of sleep, then that's when it gets me. That's when I fall asleep and all this stuff. Ah, crazy. Okay, let's get back to the story at hand. Uh, I still gotta think here. So John knows a little bit because he's actually been inside. Um, well, let's put it this ways. You see a note on a door, and you read it. Two things you want to do. One is you're gonna want to go in and investigate whatever it is you came out of that has this note pinned to it. And then the other deal is you want to go and investigate the thing that was on the note. So if I say Fairy God College and you read it and they go, oh, well, I better go check this out. Let's see where, let's see what's in Fairy God College. But they might not want it to also see in Princess Prep. And John's already been there. That doesn't mean that if you've never been there, that you wouldn't want to go in there necessarily. So I always have to think of this like a player would think of it. Some people would choose to go in and re-explore Princess Prep. And actually, this could be a deal, like a multiple path deal. Because really all you want to do is you want to direct them to Fairy God College. So if there's something in Princess Prep that they could find that clues them into Fairy God College, you could set that up. And if not, then you go over to Fairy God College anyways, right? We'll worry about that later. So I was thinking, there are two things that could happen. Even though that's another very good thing, and I could set that up too. That's funny. I wouldn't think about doing this for everything else. I mean, I'd have to go back through everything to try to link it, but or maybe three. You could look at the note and decide to go directly to, where would you be going? Oh, Fairy God College. However, you could look at the note and save it for later and want to explore want to explore Princess Prep first, even though John has already been there. What was the third thing I was thinking of? Okay, let's walk through this. I'll walk through it in my head. You go up to the door, you see the note, you look at the note, then you decide whether or not you want to go over to Fairy God College, whether or not you want to go back into Princess Prep and see if you can find anything else interesting. What was the third option? I had a third option. I can't think of it right now. Um, look at the deciding to go to Paragon College. However, you could also look at the note and save it for later. I want to explore Princess Prep first, even though John has already been there. Furthermore, you might find a clue in Princess Prep that suggests Fairy God College again. Uh, okay. Let's see. I need to switch. Okay. Furthermore, you might find the clue in Princess Prep that suggests Fairy God College again. Uh, and then go over there. And finally, what would the finally be? I just had it too in my head. Um, Finally, you might uncover a clue in Princess Prep that clues you into Fairy God College. That might actually be. There's a thing I had in there about. No, never mind. I've had it. I lost it. Okay. Uh, it clues you into Fairy God College. It's all just going to Fairy God College. I'll try that. If it will enter, there we go. There we go. I guess I'm kind of doing this, and I'm looking down, like way down at my screen, way down, way down. All right, let me turn this off again for a sec. So John can find this clue somewhere. Um, see. I gotta think about that for a sec. Choice and discover, get multiple paths to the same destination. No, actually, they should all be going to where I want them to do. Don't worry, still thinking, still thinking, still thinking. Actually, here, let's do this. Instead of turning the webcam off, this. Oop, I need to be back in the screen here. Let us do a thinking. Please wait. Or just getting coffee. And of course, not getting coffee is the fact to finish my coffee. Uh, okay. Okay. Um, Now let me get up and walk around first. You can still keep in mind the fact that I've only been doing this since December, no, November, the very end of November. I did 2 days in November, and then I did December and January, and now we're into halfway into February. So, actually, part of this deal about the streaming is to kind of help this a little bit. If I can get enough people to start coming in and start like interacting, then I might have more of an incentive or more of a. It might force me into doing things like going to bed early and making sure I have everything ready and making sure I'm on time. I know really you gotta kind of do that in the first place to get people to want to come and start watching it, but also it's like kind of a catch-22. It's kind of a tail feeding the head kind of thing, or chicken and egg if you would prefer. Where in order for me to be able to do the stuff that I need to for streaming, like being on time or making sure I get good sleep or being prepared, I need to have people actually watching me. But in order to have people watch me, I need to start getting on time. Anyways, it's just a cycle. But I'm cutting myself some slack for. Now, I'm not really cutting myself some slack for being lazy, but cutting myself some slack for being still a general newbie to streaming. Anyways. So, okay, so there's a couple things I was thinking about, right? One is being able to go into Princess Prep. It's been closed. I don't remember how John gets into Princess Prep. Somehow he gets in there. But he sneaks in there. I don't remember. Maybe I should look at my notes here. I mean, that's what the notes are there for, right? Okay, it's probably in the narrative part, but I can just look here. Let's just Princess Prep. Princess Prep. Princess Prep. Princess Prep. Do we send John over to night school and Princess Prep to get some answers? See, this is my narrative that I did kind of recently. And then first thing John does, find a way to school grounds. Okay, the nights thing about the nights. Okay. Let's see, possible. Okay. Night school's only open. John manages to find a way into Princess Prep. Went inside. So I don't even have a thing that says how he got into Princess Prep. Okay, I guess I can go back to this. Go back to the scene here. Let's switch back to desktop. Desktop. Alrighty. So this is what I wrote over here. Actually, a narrative does help sometimes, though, because I did write some of it out. Although it doesn't say how he gets into Princess Prep, he just gets in there. And I figured I'd figure out a way of doing that later, in the game somehow, which is fine, because we can do this thing where he's able to get in. The Count and the Princess are able to get in the same way he got in. Maybe it's through an open window or something. And the other thing is, note Here, okay, so let's go to my actual plot outline here. Let's Princess Prep. Okay. Let's find the next one. Okay. Someone tells John the knights are using real weapons and dragons are terrorizing small villages. Grand Enchanted Landing is the first stop on the Princess tour when John sneaks into Princess Prep. All it says is he sneaks in. In fact, I don't kind of get why I put this here this ways. Here says John the Night School Princess Prep. Someone tells John the Knights are Grand Enchanted Landing is the first stop on the Princess's tour when John sneaks into Princess Prep. That's the only references to Princess Prep I have. That's interesting. Okay. He's making the headmistress off for her. Looking on her desk, he finds a piece of paper. I think the idea here is I tried to combine it into one line where he sneaks into Princess Prep and then finds the princess's itinerary. It says the first stop is the Enchanted Landing, and I think that's all I was doing there. Okay, so that's really all he finds out. All he finds out is the itinerary. Uh, so now presumably he's gonna go in. He's gonna sneak into an office or something. Um, right. A little effort he managed to. Let's see. First thing he knows. Wait. Okay. Once inside, he manages to make his way to the headmistress's office. Okay, so already he's going towards the headmistress's office. What I could do if I wanted to keep the amount of locations down, and I haven't really even thought about keeping locations down. Like maybe I should, because maybe I shouldn't have like so many locations that I have to do. You know, I should have a sort of what would you call it? Economy of scale. Basically, where I try to make sure that in each location you do the most that you can do in the one location, so I don't have to make up more content. And I don't have any problem making up more content, but if nobody's gonna see it or play it or whatever, then it's probably kind of wasteful to have it there. So he could automatically have went into a side window, and that could have been the headmistress's office. Like he could have looked around Princess Prep and then saw the windows and seen if he could see inside. And then when he saw inside, he found out that he could go into the headmistress's office, but then nobody was there still, and on like that. Okay. Uh, Looking at her desk, finds a piece of paper with the words Princess Karin averted itinerary. After looking at the list, the first thing he notices at the top is an item saying she's supposed to go to the Grand Enchanted Landing Hotel after she lands. John then starts hearing muffled sounds in the room. He still can't see what it is, as the room looks fairly normal. There are two identical plants in each corner behind the headmistress's desk. After examining the plants a bit more, one of the plants seems to have wrapped its leaves around something. With little effort, he manages to pull off the plants to reveal the headmistress. After being freed, she tells John that a woman entered her office and cast a spell on one of the plants, which managed to wrap its leaves around her and wouldn't let her go. But from what she could see, the woman opened her desk, pulled out the princess' itinerary along with hotel tickets and a badge and various other odds and ends, and then left her here to suffocate. John notices the tickets are gone. So he picked up a few things, and probably the idea is that it's Violet. Violet's in there. She's that's right. I wonder if there's something there that let me think. Um, what she could see when over to the desk, pulled out Princess itinerary. Now keep in mind, John doesn't know really who Violet is. It's possible he told her somewhere along the line. He might have to fill him in with some information here about the land, about the characters and stuff when John first comes in. So I'll have to think about that, I guess. But sure, I'm up here. See, I want to do like this, and then my whole face is like underneath it. It's almost like it's easy for my head to be in here. Only when I'm sitting back. Like I can't sit forward. I could sit forward, and then my face would be right in the camera. How about that? What do you think about that, huh? Okay, so yeah, okay. Maybe ChatGPT can help me a little bit here. Yeah, these probably lead to very odd college, but I'm currently trying to puzzle through something else. And what would that something else be? Um, okay. Do we leave a clue in Princess Prep that that sort of shows that Violet was there? Um, in a part of my narrative, uh, which I never finished. What was I gonna say? It simply says John sneaks into Princess Prep. Now, what form it takes, I'm not sure. Okay. Sneaks into Princess Prep. Do we leave a clue in Princess Prep that sort of shows that Violet is my audio still going, right? Okay. Okay. Reason to find the thing. I have something for you to try in a sec if you want. Okay. Okay. I'll just say that. Um. Okay. Was there? A part of my narrative. A part of my narrative simply says John sneaks into Princess Pratt. In there, he finds a desk with Princess Karin's itinerary. Where she's supposed to go to the Grand Enchanted Landian Hotel when she lands. Which gives them a place to start. One of the things I wrote concerned an office plant that managed to be wrapped around the headmistress until John frees her. Yeah, John frees her, right? Princess Breath, right? She saw this woman come in and take a few things. Presumably, Violet. Presumably, Violet. Okay. So, would that be a clue? What if she could see it was Violet? I'm just giving it some ideas and trying to figure stuff out here. Uh, the headmistress saw Violet clearly directly ties her to missing princesses and raised more questions about Fairy God College's involvement. I don't know if I want to go super deep in that. Let's see here. Okay. I mean, I'm adding more stuff that can happen. And is this clue just a clue? And if it's just a clue, do I put it in as a clue, or do I make it like a feature puzzle? Like I guess the idea is maybe giving the player as many chances to figure it out as possible. Maybe that should be the whole idea. I'm not going to be doing actual puzzles and probably until about I'm starting to work on the parser based phase, text parser phase. So it's not going to be for a little while. This is still choose your own adventure, so it'll probably just have a statement. She describes Violet, and then John in turn describes that to Hubert when he meets up with him. What do you think for a second? And almost it might make it too easy because there's too many places to be able to get the hint. We just want to give them the hint. We want to be able to go to say, you know, hey, go over to Fairy God College because there's something here that will. There's something here that's important. Fairy God College. And so there's a couple things. One is the note on the door, and that's the other thing. Can John take the note off the door? Does he need to? He doesn't need to necessarily, especially if they're going to go there later and they're going to look at it later. Are they going to even be able to take it off? Maybe I make sure that you can't take it off. Maybe it's too hard to pull off. So maybe it's held there by magic, and it's a magic sign, and you know, we can explain it away by saying Quicksilver, a little bit of Quicksilver powder in the glue, and that makes it magically adhere to just about anything. Or something of that nature. Now the note on the door is pretty explicit. It says go to Fairy God College. And then the other question is that a relatively new development? Maybe the sign isn't there when John goes and visits, when he breaks in, but maybe the sign is there since then. Okay. Oh. Hey, Rook. Hold on a sec. Okay. Yeah, let's turn this back. Let's go back to desktop here, and I'll leave it. Okay. I'm just trying to think. What's the best course to pick? She only needs to see enough to be able to identify. Identify her. That isn't necessarily enough to make the player curious enough to check it out. Feelings to be able to identify her doesn't necessarily enough to make the player curious enough to check it out. Generally, you should be able to make the connection. Violet. Huh. Okay, so Jelly should be able to make the connection. Just trying to think of that. She only needs to see enough to be able to identify her. This isn't necessarily enough to make the player curious. You have to check it out. Sometimes I just put stuff in and hopefully it'll come up with some ideas I can bounce off of. Make the player suspicious right away. We could add one more detail that deepens the mystery and nudges them towards Fairy Guy, who has a few options. Headmistress remembers Violet taking something odd. Student roster has a textbook. A key with a symbol matching something from Fairy God College. Yeah. There's actually several clues he could leave around, really. In reality, John could go and look at a bunch of stuff. Then again, it might go in and come out and not look at anything. Violet wasn't alone. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea, honestly. Magical signature. Hmm. That's actually not, those are not actually bad ideas, really. Uh, Here, I'm just gonna turn the webcam off, but not the desktop, because I'm still trying to think of a few things here. Um, that's actually probably not a bad idea. He's gonna talk to the headmistress, and the headmistress is gonna go, "Well, I heard a couple of voices. This woman came in, and then a few minutes later, I heard a few voices, and I could see there was someone else in the room." And then it could mention something about Prairie God College, and that could be a clue. Uh, then we have the thing about the note, and the note is simply for the present time where they come upon Princess Prep again, and then, but this is like more blatant, so it's more direct. It's like, it's like saying, you know, that gives me a thought too. When you're out after a certain point, now you're gonna need to know some information, and this could get you stuck. But maybe it won't get you stuck because there's enough like clues. So you go in there and uh, somehow you're gonna have to let the headmistress know that she needs to leave, or get her out of there, or she'll say something like, "I'm gonna leave right away," or some such. And I did a thing where, well, okay, so if they decide to go in, maybe they don't. Maybe that's the point. Anyways, this is what I was saying. Sort of like a gatekeeping kind of thing. So John hears this information. Maybe we can make sure that the information is still available. You can do like a note taking thing, but you could also do a deal where when you talk, the dialogue choices kind of don't go away. You know, in other words, Hebert might be asking, like they'll go back and let's say you're playing Princess Karin in this case. Now, if you're able to switch to John, uh, you can answer questions that she asks. Maybe. I'm not sure how I want to do that for sure. Um, so you'd be asking questions. You'd be saying anything you remember. What do you still remember? She says blah blah blah. They did this. They did that. And okay. So the whole idea is he gets in there. He lets the headmistress out. When they come back later, now this new notes on the door. Now, in fact, what I could do also too is I was thinking about finding a way of making it to where um, I don't have it like I don't build like this whole location out. The location for Princess Prep would simply be the headmistress's office. Maybe she has like a window that John could sneak into. John ends up sneaking in through the window the office has, and then find out this information, then leave the same way, and then when they come back, they try to use the same way John went in, and maybe it's all boarded up or it's taped up or whatever, and you can't enter in that ways. And so either you go back through that, or the first thing you do when you come to the Princess Prep is you actually go to the front door because you see this note, and the note wasn't there before. Now, I won't necessarily tell you that the note wasn't there, and you won't necessarily see it unless there's a location that shows the front of the school, which you might have. I might have it somewhere along the line. So you go there, and then now it's closed, and say, due to unforeseen circumstances, Princess Prep has been closed and is now off limits to any visitor, any whatever. And basically like a keep out sign. But the sign also curiously says about Very God College again. It says, you know, if you're planning on trying to learn to be a princess, uh, since we're closed, maybe you'd like to learn to become a fairy godmother, kind of thing on the paper. And seek within Fairy God College to find out our special program for princesses that didn't get to go to Princess Prep or something, some such thing. Where the idea is they're offering you this deal at Fairy God College, okay, and then basically what you do is Karin will disguise herself as a would-be vacation princess. So even though she's a real princess, she dresses herself up like a tourist. In fact, that could be a whole, you know, female tourist or something. That could be a whole thing. Of course, someone might recognize her. That might could be maybe she could wear a disguise or something. I mean, that was kind of the whole premise of me thinking about the Lemon Drop Kid. Um, but she goes in disguise. The Count turns into a bat, and he hides in her handbag, and they go inside to Fairy God College. And then we have to deal with what's inside because the princesses are trapped in the library. Actually, they're not necessarily trapped in the library though. I was figuring that the library has a number of books. Maybe there's a room in the library that's locked that you have to get into. And basically, you're gonna find that the princesses in uh, were locked in here, and they're forced to go through these fairy tale scenarios until they marry the Prince Charmings or whatever. And of course, the Prince Charmings happen to be some of Max's henchmen, uh, which he's trying to marry them off so that uh, they'll it's an incentive to fight. Maybe it's part of his army, an incentive to stay with Max or to join his army or whatever. And that is he gets to marry. They get to marry real princesses or something, And of course, it's kind of a scam, anyways, because they're not actual real princesses. But they do this thing, and then eventually marries them off. But Princess Karin and the Count, they come in here and they figure this out, and then we have to find out a way of making them. Maybe there's not a room. Maybe that's not what it is. They're trapped in these enchanted books, So they'll have to go and find the right books. They'll have to find the ones that sound like fairy tales. In fact, it could be kind of almost a puzzle in itself. And in fact, well, if somebody lets them in, let's see. Princess Karin, when she goes in, she's going to be kind of taking her life in her own hands. Like she's going to might be trapped in a book too. So then we might almost have to rely on the Count to actually help him out. Little do they know that she has the Count with her while she's trapped in one of these deals, and they're all enchanted books, and they get trapped, and there has to be somebody administering it somehow. It can't be just like walking in there. There's got to be a there'll have to be I don't know. There'll have to be something puzzle wise. It's gonna be it'll be kind of interesting, actually. Actually, I like this. I'm actually coming up with puzzle ideas, even though I'm not ready to do puzzles just yet. Um. Okay, so back. Okay, so back to the headmistress's office, right? Um. Let's see. All right, so identify violet isn't enough. We have one more details. Mystery nudges them. Yeah, they overhear something. They overhear a different voice. Now, we don't necessarily have to go into detail about what the voice is. The voice could be a guard, the voice could be Max. It doesn't really matter what the voice is. The headmistress won't recognize it anyways. She'll just hear them mention something about Fairy God College. And something about them, let's get these over the college. The program is closed now. These should go with the others. Hence that Fairy God College is involved without outright saying it. Student roster, a magic textbook on fairy tale enchantments, a key symbol. Yeah, they have to be something. So okay, let's go back to my narrative. In my narrative, okay. Fairy God, okay. Once inside, he manages to make his way to the headmistress' office where after finds a piece of paper with the word Princess Karin of Verdant's itinerary. After looking at the list, find the notice the top item is she's supposed to go to the hotel. After she lands, John starts hearing muffled sounds, opens it up, right, and then she tells John that a woman entered her office and cast a spell on one of the plants, which managed to wrap its leaves around her and wouldn't let her go. But from what she could see or tell, the woman opened her desk, pulled out Princess itinerary along with hotel tickets, a badge, and various other odds and ends, and then left her here to suffocate. John notices the tickets are gone. Hebert, okay. Mouse Lizard is dumb. The house goes to the front door. Yeah, and here there is a magic shield. I'm not sure if the magic shield is going to be there because now, yeah, it's probably not going to be there. So this is not going to be here, but he is still going to talk. Probably Hubert's going to go up to the doors and the doors are locked, and that's all. But then he's going to go around to the side maybe, and then talk to some taking over the school. And honestly, the whole princess prep thing, this whole deal about the princesses and stuff, what happened to them, it's kind of side note. It's not even really important to really the main story. The idea is Max is going to try to keep his guys happy by marrying them off to princesses, or what they think are going to be real princesses, which actually Max doesn't tell them that they're not actual real princesses. They're just, you know, they're just tourists that happen to come in here. And they're not letting anyone in. Prince wants them to sneak in. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and actually paste this into copy. Uh, why does it keep doing that? Quit doing that. What's it doing? Okay. Anyways, key with the symbol matching. Yeah. All of these ideas are valid, but I want to. What am I trying to do? I want an influence. Uh, paste what I came up with, what the headmistress says to John. Let's see if it works. Does it work? It's working. Let's see what GPT says. GPT says. Oh, and I hit my free plan limit for GPT 4.0. Access policy and clearly established violence involvement raises immediate suspicion and gives John something tangible to notice missing tickets. Okay, I can't type anymore in here, I guess. It doesn't really matter because it doesn't matter. This just give me some ideas, and ideas all I need, and I can either start a new conversation or a little less conversation, a little more action, please. Okay, okay. Uh, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do something where there's some clues when John ends up going uh shoot, I have to go in and I have to insert like this subplot, Max subplot's gotta be inserted in there. Violet's thing's gotta be rearranged a little bit. And I don't know, there's a lot of stuff to kind of work to do on here. I would like to get this story part done here. Um, okay, so this is kind of the stuff that happens already. John had already been in Princess Prep where the headmistress tells him. Does she hear another voice? Does the headmistress hear another voice? Or does she. Or does Violet take something that clues him in that it's Fairy God College? Maybe she has a guard or something with her. Hmm. So he finds out about the hotel through that. What's the link? Where do I make the link to Fairy God College? How do I make the link? Hmm. Okay, well, even though Hubert already finds out that Violet's in charge of the of Fairy God College, um, maybe the headmistress overhears. But the headmistress tells him. Let's see. So Chuck here. Have you tried a local LM? Not me. I know you keep suggesting it, Rook. Uh, if it doesn't take long to set up, maybe I will. Hmm. And its credit limit, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still kind of thinking about it. I don't know how long it'd take to set up. Can I take this whole notes, all these notes that I had, and feed it in there to tell it about? He keep using GBT to run out of credit. I mean, I mean, I can always go to the free chat, which defaults to like 4.0 mini or something like that. But you're right. Each time I run this specific conversation, uh, ever since I uploaded my notes, then it's switched to the regular 4.0 and have to wait again before I can continue that particular conversation. Yeah. Um, Anyways, I shouldn't be looking on the side. I should be looking forward. Okay. John already been in Princess Prep where the headmistress tells him that she heard two voices. Originally, just one person. Uh, and telling that other voice. Okay. John had already been at Princess Prep. He learned the headmistress had been trapped in a plant ever since some woman came in. The woman took some things, and that indicated that the first thing to investigate was let's see, was took some things, including an itinerary. Took some things, including itinerary, which listed the hotel as her first destination. Okay. She also mentions when freed that what's she doing? What's she also mentioning? Let me think. Let me think. John already being Princess Prep. He learned the headmistress had been trapped in a plant ever since the woman came in. The woman took some things, including itinerary, which listed the hotel as first. She also mentions Winfried that here, let's see something here. Where is it? Oh, no. Down, down, down. Ring, ring, ring. Down, down, down. Come on. Where is you at? Bios? No, I'm not looking for bios. I'm looking for page 50 something. 50-ish. Let's see. Okay, back here. Fairy God is probably okay. Find this piece of paper. The words Princess Karin of Vibrance. After looking at the list, first thing you notice, the top is I am. After she tells John, a woman in her office cast a spell on one of the plants, which managed to wrap its leaves around her and wouldn't let her go. Boy, she could see the woman open her desk, pull out the print site. Okay. Pull along with hotel tickets, a badge, various other odds and ends, and then left her to suffocate. What is she doing? I don't know. I don't know what I was saying here. Let's figure this thing out. Actually, the women didn't take the itinerary. John had already been in Princess Prep. He noticed the princess's itinerary, which had the Grand Enchanted Landian Hotel at the top. The head mistress was trapped by an enchanted plant that when John freed her, she mentioned that this woman that cast this spell on the plant took the hotel tickets and a few other items she couldn't see. Then she says she heard a male voice tell her Hey, a mail voice teller to. Well, no, you can't do that because this happened before John gets in there. The thing about nailing up the board and everything. Tell her, you need to get back to Fairy God College. This is just supposed to be a hint, actually. Okay, now when Princess Karin it's like what happens is Princess Karin is deciding she's gonna go and check out. She needs to go to Princess Prep. So she's gonna hear this information. This information about this woman that came in, going back to Fairy God College. It's not long before they should be able to put two and two together that Violet was the one that was in there. Um, okay. Princess Karin decides check out Princess Prep. She goes to the front door. Okay, so what does she do there? Okay, so if we do the thing where he goes in and he gets into the headmistress's office via a window in the back, then I don't know. And reads a note. Dear future princesses, it's with a heavy heart. I don't know, what do they say? A heavy heart and what? See something. I can go ahead and actually do a new chat anyways. Let's go to do a new chat. What phrase goes with a heavy heart? I should say what phrases go with the phrases that go with heavy heart. Accept the loss with heavy heart. That sure. I leave with a heavy heart, knowing things. Yeah, but isn't there something else that goes with that? I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. Let's see. That phrase that emphasizes or strengthens it before saying what you have a heavy heart about. Great sorrow and a heavy heart. Okay. All the way down. Deep regret. Very much thought. Heavy heart. Profound sadness and a heavy heart. Okay. Great sorrow, profound sadness. Those are good. It's overwhelming emotion and a heavy heart. Heart full of sorrow and a heavy heart. Tears in my eyes. Spirit burden. After everything with a heavy heart, I feel that works. Heavy heart. I have to inform you that princess prep being maybe Chat GPT could come with that up with something, and I could just use. Well, I mean, would sound very Chat GPT though, as being uh what what phrase would I use to indicate something is being closed? One of the schools in my game is being closed indefinitely. I'm composing some sort of note that people get when they approach the door. Temporary close. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the school will remain closed for the time being. School is closed until further notice. Please check back for updates. Effective immediately, the school is closed until further notice. School will be closed indefinitely. Apologize for the inconvenience. Okay. Okay. Other words for I can substitute for closed, shut, suspended. Suspended until further notice, maybe. Out of service, active, temporarily halted, on hiatus, operation disconnected, out of commission, ceased. School cease operations. Has ceased operations. Do I want indefinitely? Or do I want for the time being? Until further notice. Until further notice. Um, okay. Great, so I have to inform you that presence rest. here's what I have so far, but I want to tweak it a bit. That's probably fine. Actually, I can actually copy that anyways. Because it's not really super important. It's not super important that it's there's an exact thing here. It's just a little dilly. Yeah, we can copy that. Why not? With great sorrow and heavy heart that we must inform you that Princess Prep has been suspended until further notice. Um, hmm. I like that, but I'm still trying to convey something, but I can't really articulate it. So basically, in my game, this school, um, Enchanted Lands is a real magic kingdom that is also a tourist resort. So, women of all ages come in and learn to be princesses for the time they are there. Um, and then afterwards, it's to fulfill their fantasy of being rescued by a prince or some such thing. The schools are mostly closed down, and I may want to indicate some sort of problem that may have on the surface caused the closure. But until such time, then they can head over to Fairy God College to participate in a special program or class for the time being. Let's see what it comes up. Great sorrow and heavy heart that we must inform you that Prince Prep has been terribly suspended due to unforeseen circumstances. During this time, we invite you to explore Fairy God College's special program where you can continue your journey of royal education and adventure. Okay. Uh, this is actually good here. I'm still might want to tweak it, and I'm actually going to tweak it myself instead of using. Okay. During this time, we invite you to explore Fairy God College's uh, program. Not where you can continue your journey of royal education and adventure, but Okay, I have to think of this myself. Let's see. Uh, and this isn't even in, in like plot outline format here. This is just a kind of loose collection of notes showing what I want to do in that. I guess it's kind of in lieu of actually having the narrative version that I was starting to write. So this is sort of similar to that. But it's okay. I'll make it work. I'll make it work. Um, and this is all about hinting that they should go to Fairy God College. Then when they go to Fairy God College, it's not. I don't think it'll be hard for her to get in there. I think uh, it'll take a little bit to get in there. She's gonna pretend to be one of these princesses that came over from Princess Prep. Okay, let's see something here. I want to get rid of the where you can continue your journey of royal education and adventure. But I still want something there, like, mm, um, indicating to do with being a fairy godmother, yet still tailored specifically to those who signed up for the princess program. Uh, This very guy got explore a special program tailored to those who signed up for the princess program. Well, that's exactly what I said to it. I was hoping it would come up something a little bit. Okay. Got a second. Possibly. What do you want me to do? Blender. Oh. Oh, I see. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. All right. Sorry. I was looking at something else. Sorry about that. Okay. There we go. I think if you're busy, if I have any shader thing that I can't test. Oh. Oh. Go ahead. Go ahead. That is link me. In fact, hopefully none of you will mind, but I'm gonna test something for White Hot Robot here for just a quick sec. Plus, maybe it'll help me kind of my mind to sort of um, to gear my ideas around. Actually, what about Discord? On the Discord, here. Um, and what? What happened to my YouTube? There we go. Here. White Hot Robot. Link me in Discord. Link me on your Discord. Okay. Anyways, I don't know what you mean by lag. If you mean lag between when I answered you and when you asked and I answered, it's just because I'm juggling things and I got different windows up, and so I'm switching in between them to be able to look at the other windows and stuff. Anywho's, okay, we'll try this. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and let's put this on the main screen here. You can actually see it. See, it's still doing it. This is still in Brave browser. I could try it in Firefox. You can actually see it on screen. Hopefully, the rest of you guys that are listening or watching don't mind that I'm testing this for a second. It doesn't take very long, and so far it's still not working. Apparently, some of the shader stuff doesn't work in Linux for some reason, and I even tried it on Firefox here, and the same way here. Oh no, that's the okay, wrong. Sorry, that's your screenshot that you or Circuit Bone put up earlier. Uh, yeah, let's uh, copy the link. Copy link. Okay, copy text. I don't care. Paste. Okay, good. All right, and you can see it on. Now on Firefox. It seems to partly work on Firefox, not totally, but partly. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Some weird thing with Linux. I am running Linux Mint Debian edition though, so don't have any other Linux distro up just yet. So it seems to partly work here. Anyway, let's just go ahead and minimize this. Wait, let me do something instead first. Lag isn't you, it's just video latency. Yeah. Yeah. So, did you see it on stream? I did both Brave and Firefox. In fact, Firefox 1 is still up right now. Well, it looks like it'd be cool, whatever it is. uh, Thanks, bro. I noticed there is a larger need for cross-browser compatibility work with WebGL than, say, 2D Canvas. Probably right. I don't really know much about WebGL. I know it's been around for a while, but I don't know. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. And this is just... what? Oh, I see what I did. I can actually close... I can close the spray tab here. Yeah. All right. So now back to the deal. Just let my mind percolate. Just uh, what do we call what do you call that? You sign up for a program, attendees. What do you call that? Attendees is somebody that attends a conference. Uh, what do you call people who enroll in a program or class? I want to say attendee, but that's for someone that's at a convention or concert or something. Participants, enrollments, registrants, candidates, students. Tailored to the students of the Princess program. It might be registrants. Signed up. Well, maybe I can just... We apologize for any inconvenience. When Karin tries to open the door, it's locked, and when she goes around to the window for the headmistress's room, she finds it all boarded up. Okay. Polish for anything. Alright, so we got that. Now we get to the deal of going over to Fairy God College. So Princess Karin and the Count tell John and Hubert. Yeah, I don't know if I'll even get this done today, but maybe I'll get all of this stuff done today. And actually, John had managed to enter the window of the headmistress's office around the back. Okay. Princess Karin and the Count tell John and Hubert. That there's no other way into Princess Prep, that apparently someone closed it up after John had visited. But then John mentions that the head mistress told him that a male voice told the woman whom was who was possibly identified as Violet, to get back to the Fairy God College. Then Hubert spoke up and told them that it was Violet Moonshadow. If the princesses are anywhere, she'll know where it is. So they then decide the princess and the count should pretend to be vacation and to be They then decide that the princess should pretend to be a vacation princess in order to infiltrate the school, and that the only thing the count can do is turn himself into a bat and hide in her handbag. At first, he's reluctant, but then when she mentions he only agrees if she agrees to help him find a mate, which she does. Okay. And okay, so now let's see, what else do we do? Right now they're just kind of agreeing right here. Okay. Karin changes clothes to suit a more tourist vibe, and then the count transforms into a bat and flies into her purse. Well, purse, whatever, handbag, whatever. She then goes up to the loops on. I don't feel the test number, so you lack of access to you. That would be cool. Are you using Linux at all? or just in Windows or Mac. Anyways, cantaloupe. All right. So, okay, then she goes up to the Fairy God College door, knocks, and claims she sorry she was a little late, but noticed a sign on Princess Prep and decided to come over. Okay. When she gets in, she's taken to a little office where Violet is sitting, filling out some paperwork. Even witches have to do paperwork. Um, I, I don't want to spend too much detail. I mean, this is the way I do. I sort of write sort of like you would in a novel, I guess. I mean, I'm not saying I'm good as a novel writer. I'm just saying this is the way I kind of write here. And so I would actually write a bunch of details in. Um, uh, Violet signs her up, not knowing it's her. Apparently, the disguise is good enough that she doesn't know it's Princess Karin there. Um, then says she's going to have to leave her handbag. Ooh, I just thought of some extra thing to add in here, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. It's adding more detail. I don't even know if it should belongs in a plot outline or what. Uh, she reluctantly gives up the bag. Um, Violet claims it will be returned to her on the day of her departure. Um, and throws the bag in a box. Okay. That's a lot of work here. I'm still haven't, like I said, I still need to, boy, this is going to be a lot of work just doing this. Actually, you know what? I was thinking what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to be doing the subplot. I'm going to be doing both the Count and Princess Karen together, but actually, I'm not going to do it together. They'll be sharing some of the same plot points, but then they'll diverge because they're going to diverge right here because this box has all the bags of all the women that went in there, and um, we're gonna have some sort of I don't know, some sort of security or something is gonna take the bags and essentially take them to the incinerator. The idea is that none of these ladies are gonna come back, and that's when she is thrown into she's put into a enchanted book. They'll take her to the library, and then they'll say, uh, for the first thing, yeah, the first thing you need to do is you need to study up on your fairy tale. You need to catch up on your fairy tales, and so they're instructed to pick a book. So she's instructed to pick a book. She picks a book, she opens it, instantly she's transported into the book, and maybe I'll do a. Oh, that's an interesting thought. You know, and I'm just making this thing. It just these ideas keep pumping out now. But she goes in and she gets trapped in there, and and the Count is about ready to be toasted in the bag. He's about ready to be incinerated, and somehow he's going to escape. That's the one thing. And the other thing is, what I was going to do is I was going to have a thing where uh, she has to go through. Maybe she picks like Sleeping Beauty, for instance, and so she's going to fall asleep in the story. And the only way to get her out is if, and I suppose at this point, Hubert should have his magic. I wasn't going to have Hubert have his magic this early when he goes to infiltrate Princess Prep, but it is after kind of after the midpoint, a little bit. Um, I mean, maybe I can put that as a note so I can find a way of reordering everything. But what I thought would be kind of cool is he gets to go and he gets to go in and rescue her out of Sleeping Beauty. Basically, I'm thinking. I mean, I could have this whole thing where you have where you do this different things going into each book. Maybe John gets to go into each book and wake up all the princesses, all the would-be princesses, out of, you know, snap them out of their fairy tales, out of their enchantments. He has to go into each one, and that's kind of interesting. I mean, it add more to the game. I don't know how much more. This is a pretty significant deal. In fact, usually there's a deal where it looks like the good guys are losing, and I kind of already have that in there. That's where they're trapped in the mines and stuff. But if we do this deal here, where after they're reunited, after Hubert has his magic back and all that stuff, and then he goes in and maybe she goes here earlier, but they come and rescue them after the fact. So that's going to entail the Count actually somehow being able to escape being incinerated for one thing, and then he's going to have to tell them, and they're going to have to rescue her again. Basically, that was the whole idea. The whole idea is the thing that princesses do is get captured, and they have to be rescued. I mean, it's just it's a princess thing. It's not even a fairy tale princess thing. It's not even a like, you know, man versus woman thing or something. But so John is going to have to go in and could take a significant part of the game too. But John goes in and he has to go into each and every fairy tale, and we don't have to do a lot of them. We could do 3 or 4 or 5, or maybe just keep it to three. Maybe three would be enough. That includes the princesses and maybe a couple other deals. Maybe there's not a lot of them that need to be freed or whatever. Um, but maybe here. So maybe the deal is okay. So our good guys will probably have. There'll probably be plenty of names. There'll be Sir William. Sir William would be one of them. There'll be. They'll probably have the Enchanted Landing Guard. So a lot of them will be noble. They'll be knights or whatever, and they'll be able to go in and rescue the rest of them. So, but John has to go in, and maybe we'll make it three. We'll keep it to three, and um, if we keep it to three, that means he has to go in each book, and that also means you can make it a little bit non-linear. So he could find the Princess Karin in the first book that he chooses, the first actual fairy tale he chooses. But so he has to search through them, and he searches through about three of them. After two, the third one will always be the princess, But if he gets the princess in one or two, then it ends at one or two. And I just thought that that would be a kind of a cool thing to add in there. It adds more stuff into it, which is already making this thing huge. But I'm here for that. That's what I built this for. I built this so it'd be huge and awesome. I think. Hopefully, it doesn't slow down pacing and stuff. Like maybe we can make sure that it doesn't take super long, as far as how long it takes to actually go through the motions. I'd probably judge it by. I'd still judge it by like 3-act structure format. In other words, it should take you as long to play uh, as it would for as it would if it were a movie. In other words, I don't mean 2 hours to keep it 2 hours. What I mean is if it takes me 30 minutes to get through Act 1, it should take me an hour to get through Act 2, and it should take another 30 minutes to get through Act 3, even playing. So that could be, hours and hours. It doesn't have to be limited to 2 hours. In fact, I don't want it to be limited to 2 hours. 6 to 8 hours, maybe more than that, maybe less than that. But the idea is that when you play it, it should kind of follow that kind of structure, basically. Okay, Violet signs her up, not knowing it's her. Then she's gonna have to leave her handbag. She reluctantly gives the bag. Violet claims it'll be returned to her on the day of departure, and throws the bag in the box. She's then brought into the library by an instructor who tells her she needs to study up on her fairy tale knowledge. So she needs to pick out, we'll say she needs to pick out three books, and to read them, that she will be tested on them later. And actually, I could almost even go as far as, instead of just being the one like Sleeping Beauty, I could put all three. So I could make it all three where it randomly picks a fairy tale to put her in. That also means I have to come up with content for said fairy tales. But maybe I'll find a way to make them fairly short. Because not only does he have to find them, but he also has to figure out the way to break them out of the fairy tale. And usually that would mean follow it to its conclusion. And in fact, that's what it's relying on. Is that, but maybe the wake her up is by not following the fairy tale to its conclusion, but then they're supposed to get reset because why? Because they're supposed to marry off these guys to the princesses, the would-be princesses, vacation princesses. So yeah, I'm not sure how I handle it. I'll figure it out. To read them, that she will be tested on them later. Actually, how long have I been streaming? Oh, almost 3 hours, not quite 3 hours. All right. She needs to pick out three books and read them. She will be tested on them later. So she picks a book. She picks 3 fairy tales and goes to a table and opens one at random. And instantly she's transported into, we'll say Sleeping Beauty here, to Sleeping Beauty. Then the instructor takes the books and replaces them on the bookshelves. The bookshelves. Meanwhile, the box containing her handbag with an uncertain count inside heads to another room. Then turns out to be... Do we want to do regular cremation? Should I do regular cremation? Yeah, I guess I could do that. When the count peeks out, he notices some heavy doors and what looks like a large cast iron oven. Someone takes a bag and tosses it into the oven. When it finally dawns on the count that this is an incinerator, oh, probably incarcerator. No, incinerator. Incinerator. That's what I thought it was. No, finally, this is incinerator. So he tries to struggle as his bag is picked up. When the meanwhile, the boxing name heads to another room. When its bag is picked up, about ready to be thrown in. Then flaps his wings furiously, causing attendant what is he gonna fall back? What's he gonna do? To lose his balance and falls down. The count flies out of the bag and out the door. Okay. Using his powers of obfuscation, he hides in a corner to observe what's going on in the office and notices what does he notice? he notices the same thing happen to some other girl, and then follows her. Let's see what happened to Violet. Um, she picks a few books, and then she is likewise uh, disappeared. And she is also. And then when she opens one, she disappears into the book. Okay. Boy, this is kind of long, but I think I like the way this is going. I'm gonna have to turn this into a plot outline for both Karin and the Count, which is fine because they'll kind of be sharing sort of their things here. And then I still have to work on Sir William. Then I have to fix things with Violet in the outline. Then I have to put these into the timeline. When I got everything, I have to reread it several times to make sure everything's in the right order, nothing's being done out of order. Then I can start finally stripping it down. And that's not going to happen until next week, though. I think I'm not really getting done with that today. Even at most I should only be having about half an hour more. So yeah. The same thing happened to some other girl, and then follows her because I feel like when she opens one, she disappears into the book, which is then promptly replaced back into the bookshelf. Um, Now this is where so this is where I still gotta work something out because somehow to get to these fairy tale books, they need to get it into Fairy God College. They need to be able to grab those books and take off with them. I don't know if there were a bunch of them, if the count could do it by himself, he could do some of it, but maybe not by himself. Or do they have to go in and they have to infiltrate? Maybe, and that could be a kind of a big problem too, because they can't just sneak in, or they can just sneak in, but maybe they have to find a way to sneak in or something. But this time Hubert has his magic, so maybe possibly because at some point there was a shield and stuff. Maybe possibly that's maybe he could cast some sort of spell that shrinks the bookcase so that they could hold it in their hands. They could put it in a small bag, and then they could bring it back. That's something. So I keep forgetting he's got his magic here at some point, and now he's able to use his magic. Hmm. Okay. Which promptly placed back into the bookshelf. Uh, the Count is able to the Count is able to make it out of Fairy God College to tell the others what happened. Okay, so I have to figure this out what do they do? Do they storm it? Do they storm the Fairy God College? Do they sneak into it? What do they do? Now, at this point, Hubert, even if he has his magic here, which he should at this point, this is probably going to be happening towards Act 3 is what I think. In fact, the stuff that I wanted to put in Act 3 because I needed to give it some extra padding, I think it's not going to be in Act 3 anymore. I think it's going to be pushed back to Act 2, Act 1 maybe. Because I got to put this stuff in Act 3 because this is where we're getting down to the wire here. We're getting to the point here where we need all hands on deck, and and this is also the part where the heroes kind of reclaim their victories. Before they were about ready to die, they were about ready something to happen. Something bad's happening, but they finally overcome it, and this is the overcoming part. um, Hubert mutters something, and he probably won't. I don't know if this will be a cutscene or if this could just be like lore and backstory and whatever. Mutters something about not disposing of Violet when he had the chance. So apparently he does not kill her. He does not get rid of her right now. In fact, I don't even know if I have that in there in the plot outline there yet. So I'll have to check that. I'll have to work that out. Okay, he mutters something about not disposing of Violet when he had the chance. So he decides to go. Someone is pinging me in Blender channel. Uh, give me a second, guys. I'm here. Although I haven't played any lately. There. Okay. It's possible that I just joined BBG, which is browser-based games, on Liberia.chat, and I'm just telling them that I haven't played any browser-based games lately. But of course that can change, and this could end up being, for all I know, browser-based. I'm not sure if I'll do that or not because it's going to be such a big, adventure game. But you never know. But occasionally I do, and so that'll be fine. I think that's what Cantaloupe is working on. He's working on some sort of game. If we don't respond away, that's right away. It's because we're busy coding. That's nice to hear. I did used to mess with HTML5 and stuff. I haven't lately. I've been using Redot, of course, and I haven't been even doing that. I've just been making my story here. But hey, that's cool. Okay, so he mutters something about not disposing of Violet when he had a chance, so he decides to go back to Fairy God College and breaks down the door. He then notices she's going to have to run away because, honestly, I have the werewolves taking care of Violet. But this is the third time we've taken care of Violet in a different way. Because I was thinking he can trap her in one of the books now. But, then she can't be dead at the hands of the werewolves. Be a max. But maybe this is one of the things that makes him mad when she goes back. She escapes. Open the library. Says Hubert in a demanding voice. A couple of attendants go toward the library and open the large doors. As he goes in, he notices several of the books are glowing and figures they must be the ones. So, but instead of putting them all in a bag, he shrinks the shelves down to pocket size and puts it in a small bag. He then leaves, leaving Violet to face Max. And Max isn't going to take too kindly to this, because not only has she killed Red, or had Red killed, but now, not only has the school been open, not only, all of the stuff that she's done is not working for Max, even though Max does still have, he did manage to get the machine done. So, and he still has his armies, and he can still win. He still thinks he can win, but this is kind of this big blow, and so now he's really mad at her, leaving Violet to face Max. When he returns to the Count's hotel, he asks if there's an empty room. He asks if there is a barroom, to which the Count replies, "Of course." He sets the miniaturized bookcases in the center of the ballroom, and then uses another spell to re-enlarge everything. He then takes all the books off and tells John to he takes all the enchanted to go through each one and finish off their endings. Until he finally finds Karin. Right, Karin's trapped, right? Yeah. And helps her through her fairy tale. Okay. That's a lot of writing. I'm going to turn this all to a game. I have no idea. But it's going to be necessary, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be epic and awesome, and you will love it. And you will finally go, oh, I remember way back when he was like typing crap and it was all boring and stuff and he couldn't keep his eyes open. I remember when he wrote that. I didn't know it was going to be this awesome, or I would have paid attention more. Okay, maybe you want to do that, but Okay. Uh, okay. Ignore the first link there. Yeah. Oop. Arena games, tic-tac-toe. Ooh, neat. Um, oh, CPU, software, graphics. Shouldn't have shader issues. Ignore the first link. Okay, we'll take a look. I see tic-tac-toe. Looks neat, I guess. Um, hmm. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Yeah, I'm almost. Actually, I'm about ready to be done here. In not too long. I mean, it's 3 hours. 3 hours is decent. Anyways, it then takes all the enchanted books off and tells John to go through each one to finish their endings until he finally finds Karin and helps her through her fairy tale. Uh, then they instruct some knights under Sir William to finish off the rest of the fairy tales. Okay. Is that it? So the count will turn back into a person. That's fine. Uh, so now we have rescued the princesses. Woo! Yay! All right. Or they're not actual real princes. Again, this is the deal, right? It's a tourist resort, and they are tourists that want to be princess for a day, princess for the weekend, princess for the week, or just want to relax. But they, all of these here were enrolled in the princess program, and they were suckered in by the note about this new special program. When really it was a thing for Max's henchmen to be able to get some brides when uh, for helping them out, and they were subjected to running through the fairy tale over and over again until they decided to give in. But he's rescued all of them, and everything is good, and we're all fine here now, aren't we? Okay, so I guess I don't need to say any much more than that, and actually, I can probably end my day today with that. It's a little bit shorter. That's just because I was late and lazy and all that dumb stuff. So that means by Monday, what I'm going to be doing is now this narrative part here, this thing here that happens to them. I'm gonna have to put these into plot points. So I'm gonna have to make plot points out of uh, for Violet's subplot and for the Count subplot. Oh, the Count! I haven't finished that up, have I? Ooh. You know what? There was a vampire princess, wasn't there? And in fact, we can actually end this real quick because his deal doesn't really need, like I said, like when John finally gets a date with Princess Karin at the end, it's because it's the end and everything's kind of wrapped up and they're together and they do that. This is going to be the kind of the same way. So this is sort of his reward for helping out Karin. And when she said she's going to help him find a mate if he can help him find and rescue all the would be princesses, all these girls basically. And so okay, so we need to resolve that. So the count, then ever the gentleman goes over quietly to Princess Karin and asks her if she minds helping him with his problem. Now, she replies, I haven't forgotten, and in fact, you found her yourself. I have. May I present to you? Now, I know I have a thing with names, and I got to come up with a name, so I need to come up with a name. I don't care if it's good, but I got to come up with a name, like, quickly to you. Princess. Okay, I'm gonna have ChatGPT to help me with this real quick thing before I finish up here. Okay, so vampires in my game aren't evil. They don't drink blood. They do sometimes bite their betrothed. Next, to turn them into vampires, or sometimes they marry other vampires. It just so happens that in the princesses that Princess Karin and the Count rescued, vacation is a real princess, and she happens to be a vampire princess. They tend to live a lot longer than regular normal people. They can turn into bats or cats. In my case, I can say cats. They can turn into a cat if they want to. So maybe the males can turn into bats. The females into cats. We'll do it like that. She can turn into a cat. He can turn into a bat. And I don't know if that's ever in any kind of vampire, whatever, mythology or story or whatever, but this is my story and this is what I'm doing. So, okay. So, males can turn into bats, females into cats. They don't really, see, do they have a reflection? They don't have reflections like other, like vampires from other stories. They also have the power of obfuscation, where when turned into a bat or a cat, they can turn virtually invisible. They can also hypnotize quite easily. The vacation princess that Princess Karin and the Count rescued is a real princess, and she happens to be a vampire princess. Now, my problem is thinking up a name. keep in mind that the account's name is Roy. And yeah, very normal and boring. That's kind of why he doesn't. That's kind of why he used the moniker the account. But she can have an unusual name, something feminine, but not too weird, but also not too contemporary. Okay. Serafina. Okay. Valeria? Maybe. I don't know how you pronounce that. I know Isolde is yeah, Isolde or I don't know how you pronounce that, but Evangeline. Celine. Yeah, Lilith. Yeah, not Lilith. Lilith is some sort of demon witchcraft thingy, and so even if it's a real like name, name with depth, carry timeless, noble residence, Amara, serene, watchful star, Ilara, celestial vibe, but still classic Dahlia. Um, Evangeline is actually yeah. Try a few more. Callista. Yeah, actually, Callista is the name of my niece. So, Lyra, Ophelia, Celeste. Celeste, maybe. Celeste is more common. It's not super common. Maris, Anastasia, Vespera, maybe. Zara, Iris, Serenella. Um, let's keep brainstorming, but I don't want anything named after goddesses uh, or having to do with witchcraft specifically. Mysterious Philip, Adelaide, Vivian, Maribel, Odessa, Elise, Emmeline, or Emmeline, whatever, Aurora, Princess Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, hint hint, no, Isadora, Celine, Althea. Hmm. Hmm. Princess Vespa. Isn't that from um uh what am I thinking of? Mel Brooks Spaceballs. I know sometimes when I'm trying to think of something it won't come up. Everything about it will come up. Just what name or what word I'm looking for. From Spaceballs wasn't her name Princess Vespa, I think. Uh and try a few more if you're not running out yet. Lucienne, Leora, Giselle, Cordelia, Selena, Felicity, maybe, Mariana, Viviana, and Viviana, Corley, Araminta, hmm. So anything with something related to cats, as my vampire females can turn into cats instead of bats, which is what the male vampire does. Leona, tigers, Phaedra, Catalina, Nissa, Katarina, Tabitha, Sable, Serafina, Lynette. Nissa. Try a few more. Leo, Zara, Felina, Chandra, Sapphire, Mira, Selena, Amara. Maybe Felina would be appropriate. Um, okay. Try a few more that are related or sound like they're related to a cat. But that start with the letter B. Vespera means evening. Vespera is still not bad. Valley, Beta, Vela. Vesper. Vivia, Violet. Yeah, I already have a Violet, so I'm not gonna be using a Violet here. Shoot, it's already 4. I gotta think of this last name. I'm almost done, almost here. Okay. Uh, Maybe I don't want bees. Felina? Felina. Felicity. Are there variations of Felicity? I realize this is just, hey, definition. Great happiness, bliss. Just a word for happiness, but maybe I can use a variation. I mean, it does have the first 4 letters in feline, even if they aren't they aren't the same. Hmm. Felina. Yeah. Felis. The genus for cats. Felis. Uh, Feliciana. More exotic. Felice. Felice. Felina. Feliciana. Felice. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, what about names that are more related to night? Uh, Not anything dark, or I should say negative, but more, I don't know, more pleasant, but still sort of like night. Mm, yeah, Luna and Noctis. Luna Noctis. Night. Night Moon. Night Moon. Violet Moonshot. Nyx. Celine. Vespera. Astrid. Ilara. Allura Danon. Okay. Ilara. Celeste. I mean, I could still go with Celeste. Celeste is still nice. Diana now. Leora. Zora. Zora. Zora doesn't have. It's not as pretty sounding as you might would do, but Zora might work for my purposes. Honestly, Zora might work. It's not as pretty as some of the other names, but it sort of it just sort of works. Or elaborate full name Zora Felice or Zorabelle, or you happen to Zora. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, maybe Zora Felice. Although most cases during the game probably referred to as Princess Zora, but still, that will probably work. So I figured it out, finally. Zerg is a mix, slightly regal. Okay. ChatGPT thinks this name is a winner. Okay. Release. Let's see. How did... I don't really have a backstory for the Count, and his name is Roy, so I'm going to have to figure that one out. Count Roy was supposed to be for a certain reason, and then I decided not to do it because the reason is gone now. But then I'm thinking Roy might be still funny because it's not a very exotic name for a count for vampire, and uh, vampire princess from realm of. So I named 2 realms um, connected to enchanted lands, my games. Cerulean for blue, which is our realm, represented by Earth, and Verdance. I think that's Verdance with an A. I think that's how I spelled it. For green, which is where Princess Karin is from. I think the Count and Princess Zora should be from some realm that's primarily based around the color red. So, can you think of a red color that sounds unusual or exotic that I could turn into a realm name? Keep in mind, I want to make the realm name myself, but I would like several variations of the color red that sound interesting and unusual. Carmine, vermilion, alizarin, alizarin. I don't even pronounce that. Alizarin, Alizar, Alizar, Rubicund, uh, British. I've never even seen that. Coquelicot. That's really weird. Matter, Rosso, Italian for red. Incarnadine, Sanguine, Cerise, Elzaria, Rubica, Coquelis, Incanara, Sangara. Any other red colors? I should have just asked the names of red colors that you would find for paint, like red color paint names. Come on. Crimson, burgundy, maroon, ruby, garnet, oxblood, scarlet. vermilion, cinnabar, interesting, flame, molten, poppy, sienna, terracotta, brick, rust, persimmon, dragon's blood, rosa corsa, racing red, alizarin, sanguine or sanguine. How do you pronounce alizarin? Spell it out with like phonetics or rhyming with something, you know. Alizarin, alizarin, alizarin. I think the vampires come from the realm of Alizar, pronounced Alizar. Uh, like, how do you pronounce? How do you spell Balthazar? Balthazar. That makes sense. I don't know. Uh, like it as it is. Really just naming realms after colors, more or less. I don't have many different realms represented. So this is working for now. Even when we use the byte, the bride has to agree of her own free will. Bride to be, I guess bride to be. It's always whatever to be or not to be. That is the question. Uh, well, why don't we ask her? It's been a lovely call. Black-haired. Maybe it's a redhead. Redhead. I don't know. No, dark-haired. Okay. I don't know how far I want to go with this here. Just as to this story here, and I don't want to spend all this extra time here. Mm, I My name is uh the Count. You can call me the Count. Zora, you really want to rescue me? Uh, well, I helped a little. Okay. I just leave it there. I don't need to. I don't need to write all this mushy stuff here. Even if I end up putting it in the game, I don't need to do that right here. Right here is just I'm just gonna end it there. So this is good. I guess we got I got everything story wise, even for the Count and for Karin both, because this is both the same deal. They split off at one point, right? Um, but here we go. I like it. I like it. I got get this done. I got this other part done. Still have to work on Sir William a little bit. Um, what did I say? He was things happened to him. Oh yeah. And then the idea is that you're supposed to be able to play these, so presumably you'd be able to play Sir William as a unicorn. And so basically, he's trying to find a way to be able to communicate, to be able to get his to be changed back. So he's got kind of a long road, and so I'll need to come up with a little bit more of a backstory. It's not the far backstory. It's not when he's turned in, because we're already way past that. But it's how it's basically how he came to be stuck in Lapswood without his memory, and trying to find somebody who could break the spell or turn him back or whatever. And somehow it lands him in Lapswood. Now, in his head, though, he's able to. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna do this funny thing about the sign language. Like I'd already come up with a thing about them communicating with them, but I was gonna instead change this thing where back in our realm there's this book, and which is kind of odd because it's in our library because we don't have unicorns, and so the idea is he finds out unicorn sign language. Should actually have that as a note somewhere. Here, note: Sir William. John finds a book in our realm in his library about unicorn sign language. So he's able to understand Sir William. They don't know how to communicate with him, but then John actually does. And so I'm going to change the thing where she kind of tries to figure it out and stuff, where Princess tries to figure it out. But instead, he uses his book. Okay. But yeah, I still have to come up with that. I have to come up with a few things about how he came to be, and it should kind of sync up. So in other words, his somehow his traveling or his venture, his journey of where he ends up. He's probably running away from the Black Knight at some point, um, and he can be just chased there. But it's not just that. It's he's gonna go and see if he can find a way of finding someone that can rid him of this curse. And he's a unicorn. He can only talk, you know. So I have to figure something out, something that causes him to be in Lapswood and to forget. Maybe he's on his way to. Maybe he knows about Hubert. Well, of course he knows about Hubert because uh, Hubert was the king's advisor, and he was the head of the enchanted guard. So they actually knew each other as when he was Sir William that you know him, and so basically it's going to be his way. He's going to find a way of trying to track down Sir William, and but then he's going to get stuck in the Lapswood. So okay, so anyways, yeah. Okay, so this is what we have to do next, starting Monday. Monday, we'll have to come up with that little bit of backstory for Sir William. I'll have to turn these Max's subplot, this story, which are essentially the Count and Princess Karin subplots. I have to turn them into the outlines, like the screenplay type of outline, a plot point outline, and then I'll take and I'll coalesce it into like a couple of single sentences. I'll throw it into the main plot outline thing. Then I'll have to go through. I have to make sure that Violet's chronology is correct, and then I'll have to go through each line and make sure I just reduce it just to the action, just to the event thing that happens. No thinking, no extra descriptions, no nothing, and try to keep one line per. How do I see it? One line per scene or one line per event, I guess. Like if they're talking on the road or something, I'm not going to put in a whole conversation. Or if it's like when they get stuck in the Lapswood and they come upon Sir William, and they try to communicate with him, and they do this, that, and the other thing, and I have like several lines for just the one deal. I'll be like, they go into Lapswood, they find a unicorn, try to communicate with it, and then get it to follow them, uh, and then they forget, and then it might be like one or two lines saying that they get lost in Lapswood and then start forgetting stuff. Something like that. I'll be reducing it to the most single deal, so each event, each thing will be like in a single location, so to speak. Then when I streamlined all of them, uh, that's when I start putting them. I start making cards in the game. I start making rooms, right? Actual room scenes with the doors, and they'll be each linked. It'll be linked like a book, so you'll read the line, you click, an option, and then I'll decide where you can put in choices where it'll diverge, and where it diverges and comes back, I'll probably do charts or something. So that being said, I want to thank you for listening and or watching, and for bearing with me when I helping somebody test out their deal, and when I'm falling asleep in my chair and I'm putting up a screen so you don't see me fall asleep and stuff. Forgive me for that. I'm gonna get that sorted out. Thanks for bearing with me when I don't come in on time and I don't do a regular time period. I'm still working on that. I'll get it down. I promise. And yeah, so we'll see. So hopefully still by the end of February. We're in the middle of February, right? So we got 2 weeks. So hopefully by next week I'll get most of that locked down. Hopefully by the end of February I will have all the story, all the outline, and everything, and I'll be actually able to start on the game uh, in March, starting March 1st, or maybe a little bit earlier, depends. Should be able to start on the game, or at least this choose your own adventure phase first, um, in March. Who knows? Maybe I'll get it done by the end of March, and I'll have a full like playable choose your own adventure version of my game. It's like a first pass of my game, and I'll probably put it up on like itch.io or something. If I can, there's a thing to compile it to web, so Godot can do that, and so Redot can also do that. And so I'll find a way of putting it on the web, and you'll be able to play it on my itch.io page. Anyways, thanks, and I guess I'll see you probably see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm supposed to be editing, and we'll see how much more editing I need to do. Hopefully it'll speed up because of the way I've been doing these videos. So, anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow or later. No, don't. Here, I want to put the thank you up. Sorry about that. Thank you for watching.